Welcome back here in beautiful downtown Marianna, right now at the Madison Street Park, here with Charlotte Brunner, Director of Main Street Marianna. Is that correct? You are the director of the program?
Yes, that's correct.
So Main Street Marianna, there are many cities across the country certainly, and within Florida that embrace the Main Street concept, that ability to focus on those business areas, help to make them multi-layered so that they become destinations. They are residential areas, and then obviously the business benefits from both of those other elements.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit, Charlotte, about what's going on right now, but before we do, give me a little thumbnail sketch of how a Main Street project actually works.
Okay. Well, in probably early 90s, we were pretty much a ghost town. And what happened was there was a group of concerned citizens that came together and filed to become a Main Street, National Main Street program. And we got the designation in the early 90s, and it's basically a revitalization of your downtown and breathing life back into your downtown. And honestly, it took off, and it's just been wonderful. It has brought our downtown back. We've got vital businesses that are coming in monthly down here. We've got beautiful Madison Street Park right now. This is new, a couple of years, maybe 3 years old, and it's wonderful. It's right here in the heart of downtown, and it just, you know, we've been very fortunate, the city of Marianna, in leveraging funds and getting grants and different things. We've undergrounded utilities. Our courthouse looks absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had the fortune of working with downtown Panama City over the years, and also with St. Andrews.
Right.
In both cases, we found that you have to have that residential component. Has that been one of your efforts to embrace that residential component, if you would, so that you do have people living, if not in downtown, at least adjacent to it, so you have foot traffic and all that goes with it?
Absolutely, Paul. One of the excuse me, one of the biggest things that we would love to see happen downtown is to take some of the two-story buildings and put, you know, residential in the upstairs. And of course, we've got Chipola Hotel, which houses elderly folks, and which is great. I mean, it puts them right in the downtown where they're walkable. And another thing Main Street has done, I think, is we have strived to make our downtown more pedestrian friendly. And, you know, with our sidewalks, our bump outs, our timing of our lights, that type of thing, to slow traffic down so it's easier to get across the street and that type of thing.
And now, as you're doing curb and gutter, as you're doing sidewalks, and as you're redesigning areas, obviously, as you point out, you're also going underground with all of your utilities. So now you've got certainly a more pleasing to the eye
Absolutely.
Final product. So then the sales part of it, selling the area to new businesses, selling the area to potential residential, but your job becomes a little bit easier.
It does. When you've got a beautiful area to market, it is. And as a matter of fact, just last Tuesday night at the City Commission meeting, the Main Street Board had presented to the City Commission to offer new businesses coming into what we call our community redevelopment area a matching grant up to $7,500. Now, with that $7,500, Paul, what they can do is they can paint the outside of their building, they can change the awning, they can put in new windows, that type of thing. And so we have a cap of $30,000 a year that we can offer at least to 4 businesses. You know, they may not use that whole $7,500, but it's there for them to, you know, it's an incentive, economic incentive for them to open a business in downtown Marianna.
And for those that are unaware of what a CRA is, you're actually using monies generated within that area from those businesses and simply plowing that money back into that exact area.
Right. Tax increment financing is what drives those funds. And, you know, once you create a CRA in your town, the money that you generate from that has to be spent back in your downtown. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Those who don't know any better look at these monies being spent, say to put the utilities underground or new sidewalks,
right,
and think that you are spending taxpayers' money. It is taxpayers' money, but
right,
it's being used. The monies are coming from the area in which they're being used.
Exactly.
And the businesses then not only benefit from those monies being spent to beautify and improve their area, but it helps to attract and recruit new business.
Yes.
And nobody wants to be the first one to the party. Everybody wants to go where there are other people.
Absolutely.
So if you've got a dead downtown area, it's really tough to get that first half dozen businesses in.
It is.
The next half dozen maybe not so much, but then after you've got a dynamic, thriving area, it's much easier to attract those because of the fact that when I go to the dry cleaners, I may stop and get an ice cream cone, I may stop at the retail store or the Dollar General.
Absolutely.
So Main Street Marianna is funded with CRA funds?
Yes.
Totally?
The city does pay my salary and my benefits, but the projects that are done within the CRA are definitely used with CRA funds.
Interesting. My wife has the dubious pleasure of serving as secretary of the CRA in Chipley, and sometimes it's a little frustrating.
It is.
Because you have people with agendas.
Right.
People that, and let's face it, we don't like people who have ideas different from ours sometimes. And so when you have a preponderance of a school of thought that perhaps this should be done, and it starts to take away, at least perceptually, from what maybe some others of us think should be the thrust of that.
Right.
It can be a point of contention. Main Street Marianna, certainly a blueprint, a thumbnail sketch, and something to hold up as an example for surrounding areas, not only to beautify their downtown areas, but certainly to recruit businesses and generate new business.
Right.
What you're seeing up here in Marianna, what I'm seeing coming here, is that you've got branches of businesses from Dothan, from Panama City, from Tallahassee, who are realizing that there are a lot of people here, there's a lot of disposable funds here, there's a lot of money being spent here, and those people now are driving to Tallahassee or Dothan or Panama City to the parent companies when they could just stay right here and spend that money. So whether it's a car dealer, whether it's a retail goods store, they're finding that they're able to put that satellite location in and actually do quite well. You're seeing that here, I think.
Absolutely. And it's a wonderful thing because, you know, when you look back, I mean, growing up here in Marianna, it was a very, very vital downtown when I was a teenager. And then through the years, you know, strip malls came and took away downtown businesses and things like that. But now we're getting it back. And people want to be downtown. I think, you know, it's just easier to get around and, you know, go from place to place and not have to go all the way out to the other end of town. But we've done a lot of great things down here, I think. We've got a DOT beautification project that we're working on right now, starting at Jackson Street, that will go to the river to beautify both sides of Highway 90 because it's a wonderful gateway into the city. We've got a cultural facilities grant that we just are filing this week through Tallahassee for grant money for the historic First Bank, which is an anchor in our downtown. We'd love to see it turn into a museum, and so we've got a lot going on, which is great. I love it.
As I pointed out earlier, Charlotte, we are sitting here now at the Madison Street Park. We're actually under the pavilion, which serves as the farmers market.
Yes.
You've got a splash park. You've got another pavilion that looks like it would be perfect for having family get-togethers or just an opportunity for the kids who are in the splash park to get out of the sun for a couple of minutes. This one little chunk of property, it appears, has done wonders for the downtown area.
Absolutely. This has been a great venue for family gatherings, summer concerts. I use it, Christmas parade. We use it a lot. Now, the Jackson County Growers Association, the City of Marianna, has a contract with them, and they come Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings, and they sell their fresh, locally grown produce. This pavilion is filled all 3 mornings with farmers, and the produce is gone by mid-morning.
Now, the Chipley Farmers Market allows only produce which is sold in the general area. Is that the same here?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. So it's not for the guy who buys it from Plant City, trucks it in.
Absolutely not.
And brings it. These are to support local growers.
Absolutely.
Okay, and keep that money in the community.
Yes, and it's worked very well for them.
And what better way to get, how can you get any fresher produce?
You can't. And listen, on Tuesday or Thursday mornings, the girls and I, some of us from City Hall, will walk over, and it's just wonderful to walk through. I mean, there's just such great produce, and some jellies and jams and things, and it's wonderful.
And it's a fun interaction.
It is. It's great.
And in the case of the farmers, they can get better known as people by name
Right.
and reputation. You mentioned concert series.
Yes.
I know that you work cooperatively with the city to produce a series of concerts, half of them at Citizens Park and half of them here. Talk about how that works.
Okay. Actually, I can't take credit for it. I'm going to have to give that credit to Chuck Hatcher. Chuck Hatcher works for the county. He works in Parks and Recreation and Recycling. Chuck started this program probably 6 years ago, and just had the concerts out at Citizens Lodge. And so I work great with him. He's a wonderful guy. I mean, works very hard worker. And so I wanted to partner with him to bring some of those concerts here at Madison Park. And this is our actual 3rd year of doing it, switching up. And Chuck's done a great job. He books all the bands. He gets most of the sponsorship, because he and I make no money off this. It's strictly sponsorship driven. And it's free. And every Thursday night, there's either a concert here or out at Citizens Lodge, and they'll go through August.